Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So you're under 45 and you've probably heard everyone tell you, the sooner you buy a house, the better. But what if I told you that buying a home right now could be one of the worst financial decisions of your life? Yeah, I know, I can hear the gasps from here, but stick with me, okay? I'm not saying you should never own a home, but buying one at the wrong time, especially if you're under 45, could leave you financially strapped, stressed out, and stuck in place when you could be making your money work harder for you. Before you hit that dislike button, make sure to smash that like for the algorithm, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends who are about to make the biggest financial mistake of their lives. Trust me, this is going to be good. Okay, let's start with the basics. We've all been fed the myth that buying a home is the ultimate financial goal. The American dream, right? Your own little slice of the pie, where you can sit back and relax in your living room sipping coffee while watching your equity grow. But wait, what's the reality of that dream? Well, let me tell you, it involves huge down payments, monthly payments that feel like they never end, and constantly hoping your house doesn't suddenly lose value when the market decides to take a nap. You see, the American dream isn't what it used to be. Homeownership is no longer the guaranteed path to wealth. In fact, for many under 45, buying a house could actually set you back financially. Here's why. Let's talk about the financial burden of owning a home. When you buy a house, you're not just paying the mortgage. No, you're paying for maintenance, property taxes, home insurance, repairs, utilities, and let's not forget the inevitable surprise cost, like that time your AC breaks in the middle of summer. It's like your house is the world's most expensive pet. You love it, but it always needs something. For people under 45, all of this can be overwhelming. You've got dreams of travel, career growth, or starting a business, but instead, you're locked down by a mortgage that might consume 40 to 50% of your monthly income. You're effectively working to pay off a pile of bricks when you could be using that money to build wealth elsewhere. That money could be going into stocks, investments, or even side hustles, things that can generate income and give you more freedom. Instead, you're stuck in one place with a property that, let's face it, isn't likely to make you a ton of money in the first few years. Let's talk about opportunity cost. The idea that by making one decision, you're giving up a bunch of other opportunities. When you buy a house, you're tying up a huge chunk of your money into an illiquid asset. This means your funds are stuck in one place, and that prevents you from taking advantage of other investment opportunities. Imagine this. You've got that $20,000 saved up for a down payment. You put it into a house and boom, you're paying for a home that might only appreciate 2% a year. Now, what if you had invested that $20,000 in a diversified portfolio, or better yet, put it into something that could return 10% a year? You'd be much better off in the long run, and let's face it, you could also spend your weekends doing something that doesn't involve mowing the lawn. Speaking of lawn care, if you love spending weekends working on your yard, buying a home might be for you. But if you'd rather binge watch Netflix and enjoy your free time, maybe you should reconsider. Here's where things get really interesting. Flexibility. When you own a home, you're tied to one location. You can't just pack up and move to another city or country for a new job or a new adventure without thinking about selling the house, finding a buyer, and potentially losing money in the process. But if you're renting, you're free as a bird. You can move wherever you want, whenever you want, without worrying about selling your home. That means if a job opportunity pops up in another city or you want to travel the world for a year, you don't have to worry about packing up your house. Renting gives you the freedom to explore and grow your career without being chained to a mortgage. And that's huge for people under 45, especially if you're not sure where you want to be long-term, or if your career might take you in unexpected directions. The last thing you want is a huge house to manage while you're trying to figure out your next big move. Let's talk about debt, because let's face it, if you're buying a house before you're 45, you're likely going to have a massive mortgage. And that debt, even though it's secured by the house, still creates a financial burden. It's hard to think about building wealth, investing in other assets, or growing your savings when you're staring down a 30-year mortgage. Think about it, 30 years. That's like being married to a financial burden. Sure, you're building equity over time, but you're also locked into a huge monthly payment that can feel like a ball and chain. If you're under 45, you should be focused on growing your wealth, not taking on debt that's going to tie up your finances for the next few decades. Let's be real here. If you're able to reduce debt, you'll have more room to take calculated financial risks that could lead to higher returns in the future. So, what's the alternative? Well, here's the thing. Renting isn't the bad guy in this story. Renting can actually be a smart financial strategy, especially when you're under 45 and still figuring out your career or personal goals. By renting, you can avoid the huge upfront costs of buying a home, and instead, you can invest that money in things that appreciate faster than a house ever will, like stocks, real estate syndications, or even starting your own business. And hey, if your dishwasher breaks or your sink starts leaking, you just call your landlord and let them deal with it. No more midnight plumbing emergencies, thank you very much. So there you have it. If you're under 45, buying a house might not be the right move for you, at least not yet. The financial burden, the lack of flexibility, and the opportunity cost of tying up your money could keep you from building real wealth. Instead, think about renting and investing in things that have higher growth potential. Freedom, flexibility, and building wealth are the keys to financial success. You've got time to make the right moves. If you found this video valuable, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with anyone who's thinking about buying a house too soon. Let's keep the conversation going and help more people make smarter financial decisions. Thanks for watching. And remember, your next big step in life doesn't have to involve a mortgage. Stay smart, stay flexible, and keep crushing it.